one of the things I really liked about this movie was the kind of comment on its kind of quite a social, political kind of climate. And I was wondering if that was one of the things that kind of attracted you in, the relevance to the kind of modern world.
Yeah, absolutely. If handled properly, like it was a concern for the most part at first, because I didn't want to take part in anything that would be glorifying any of that stuff. And if we were to, I felt from the get-go that we had a huge responsibility with that, with the topical nature of this subject matter, and that if we were to do something like this, it would really need to be sensitive to that and handle it in the right way by kind of making it the most grounded version that we could, if that makes sense. Having it be an authentic sort of report of the state of the current, affairs of terrorism in the world right now, but not have it be glorifying anything or have any sort of agenda with it. At the end of the day, it is still a fictional story of this guy. But yeah, it was something that was interesting to me if handled in a smart way.
Because obviously this potentially could be something where we could see this character again, because obviously it's based on the books. And I was just wondering, when you
could see him 15 more times.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So when you take on a role like this, same with say the Maze Runner, when you're playing a character you might play again in the future, does it change your approach to the original project? Knowing do you almost give less of the character, knowing that there's space to see more of him along the way? Whereas if you're just doing a one-off movie, I guess you give everything.
Everything. Yeah. Right. No, I guess no, I think I throw everything at it, not assuming that I'm going to be doing another one. Kind of got to make this one work first, if any of that's even going to go forward. So, I don't know. I never think about it like that, like saving it. I probably should, because that would be a good way to have a complete arc for the whole series. But again, it's how it works. You really do them one at a time, and for me, I was just focused on this story, this blueprint. This script was the blueprint for this one. So I was just kind of trying to focus on this arc and complete this journey. And then if we were lucky enough to get another one, then I'll tackle that when I get to it and hope I have some left.
Yeah. Obviously, I mean, the dynamic between your character and Michael Keaton's character in the movie is almost like a kind of mentor and kind of protege type thing. Was that a kind of relatively similar dynamic, a kind of offset, just in the sense that obviously he's such an experienced actor and he's someone I'm assuming you just look up to. Did you feel that there was a kind of slight element of that same relationship from the screen, kind of off the screen?
In a way, I'll say no, because and I'm glad it wasn't, because I enjoyed how he treated me as an equal. Actually, like I really respected that about him, and he didn't treat me like a kid, and he didn't treat me like he was gonna mentor me, or anything like that. He was just treated me like an actor that he was working opposite, and I think I enjoyed that most of the experience. With Keaton in particular, I just loved how he just let me dive into it with him, and treated me the same as he would treat any actor, and we worked together, and we would work on, we would try things, we'd talk about the scenes, we would have similar, we'd each have our ideas, and play off each other, and in between takes, shoot the shit. He was great. It was I couldn't have enjoyed it more.
And obviously, after the accident on Maze Runner, was there any kind of apprehensions or nerves of getting into another quite physical project? And do you think in some ways the best thing to do is do something like this as quickly as possible, almost just to go over that kind of hurdle and just get it done and then kind of beat it?
Yeah, that was my mentality with it. It was it was really scary to jump into this immediately, and there was nothing inside of me that was, everything inside of me was, running the other way. But I felt like it was important to lean into that, and for me too, just going forward personally, just in my life, I just felt like it would be very healthy for me to jump back on the horse, and I guess face it head on, I guess. I didn't really give much thought to, easing back into it or anything like that. This was just also the next thing that I had lined up anyway. So this was that, and it happened to be, this type of film. And for a while, I was absolutely apprehensive, and I ultimately decided that I felt like it would be really good for me, and it really was.
Just very quickly, we're just asking people at the moment if they could have starred in any movie that's ever existed, what would they most like to have starred in? What would be yours?
The Matrix.
Well, you never know, if they reboot the franchise, you might get the call.
Yeah, hey, why not?
Yeah. Brilliant. Well, thanks so much for
Thanks,
your time
man.
today.
Yeah.
Much appreciated.
You're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.
Hey,